Hello, my name's Kathy Bissell. Welcome to the Golf Show 2.0. We're here today with Jon Levy, who is working with the equipment that Scottie Scheffler uses. And as Gary said before we started this, yeah, it's not like he's done anything this year. That stuff is probably no good. I think that's probably wrong.
Yeah,
Can you
John,
tell us?
yeah,
Go
John, where did it all go wrong for Scotty this year? What happened?
Yeah, boy, I don't know. It's man, it doesn't take much to motivate him, right? It's every time he touches a golf club, magic seems to happen.
I just had the Golf Channel on, and they've got a thing going on right now. It's called the 12 Days of Scotty.
Yes, I saw some
They
of
don't
that.
have the 12 Days of Finau or the 12 Days of Jordan. They've got the 12 Days of Scotty. So I think that's when you know you've really made it. They
Yeah,
give you 12 days.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think they
He's
even did that with Tiger. But that's
no, I mean,
Oh,
I tell you,
yeah.
Scotty's in rarefied air right
Yeah.
now, and it seems like there's no signs of stopping. That's for sure.
Now, did he start a new series of exercises this year after his last year's injury, or did he just continue on with the same program that he'd been on in the past?
Yeah, it's interesting with those players. So, and I remember during our first conversation a few months ago, it's Dr. Troy Van Biesen, who is Scotty's performance coach and been trainer for many years, and he's worked with Scotty since Scotty was 14 or 15 years old. And what they're doing on a daily basis, I've been fortunate to witness this a few times, constantly evolves.
Okay,
And the one constant that they always do focus on, and a lot of the best players, is how is your body moving, and maintaining the ability to move with freedom, and make sure that you're not stressing your body over time. And so with Scotty, it's been very interesting to see him as he's continued this dominant run that we're talking about, because you would think that it's you reach that peak and you just go out and your body feels the same every day, and you're going to hit it a certain way, because he showed that sort of consistency that is so rare. But behind the scenes, it is fascinating to watch, because just like us, the three of us and everyone else as human beings, we wake up, we feel a certain way on a certain day, and sometimes your body is moving great and other times it's not. And so it's the job of not only Scotty, but with his coach, Dr. Troy, and his instructor, Randy Smith, is to make sure that they're understanding and assessing how Scotty's body is moving, and then doing a program and doing exercises, movements that help it move the way it needs to move in the golf swing.
okay. Has he made any changes that you know of in what he does in his exercise routine? Because it looked to me like the last time we had some video of him doing a lot of things that were core strengthening, where he would take that bar and turn it around from side to side to strengthen all the muscles in his abdomen and back. Um, do you know if he's added any new things?
So yeah, and you're talking about the GolfForever swing trainer, which
Yes.
is a key part of our program. And what he's doing, I would frame it this way, Kathy. So during the season, he is working out, and my understanding of, again, observing what he and Troy and his on the road coach do as well, which is making sure that he's prepped for a tournament week. And so they have a very specific routine when he arrives there on a Monday or Tuesday or a Sunday or whenever he's getting there to the tournament week. And they're going through a routine through the course of that week where they're preparing for Thursday. They're trying to optimize his body as he's optimizing his game to tee off on Thursday and peak on Sunday. And in a lot of conversations with Dr. Troy Van Biesen over the years, what Troy did with Scotty back in 2022 was they had noticed that Scotty was peaking a little bit early. And so he
Oh,
was getting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and by the time he would get to Sunday, he didn't quite have the stamina to continue
okay.
that elite level, right? It's not only just from a physical standpoint, it's from a mental and a focus standpoint.
Yes.
And so a lot of what they worked on was endurance and stamina, and getting to Sunday afternoon feeling the best that you have all week. And I think we know how that turned out.
Yeah.
Well,
How
and
did
it's
that
funny,
work?
a couple of years ago, I was looking up, researching something about one of his wins, probably Phoenix or somewhere, and he talked about how he realized that he wasn't peaking soon enough. He was playing Thursday and Friday and wasn't really ready to go on like he was on the weekend, and so he addressed that. So,
Yep.
it's what you said before. Your golf game and your body is an ever evolving thing, and you got to adjust to it every day or every so often to see what's going on. Because, especially in the world of instruction, the fix the cure usually becomes the problem at some point. The fix, because you overdo it. But yeah, he's in rarefied air. It's really been fun to watch him the last. It seems like in a long time now, but it's only but 3 or 4 years where he's just
Yeah.
been number one. He's been there a long time.
It's amazing. Yeah. And to that point, the rarefied air and what got him there, Kathy, and I want to address what you asked a few minutes ago. So that is something that he does during the tournament week, where he's preparing to get himself into Sunday peaking. But all the work that he had done with Dr. Troy over the last few years, during the off season, is a lot more of that strength and true, building that core and foundation. And so where during tournament weeks, it might be more maintenance mode. Now this time of year, it's when he's really working and working hard. And if you've ever seen video of him, working out this time of year, it's intense. I mean, he is training like an athlete. And as we know, and Tiger proved this many years ago, golfers are athletes, right? And Tiger kind of started that whole movement. But what Scottie's doing, he will not be. And again, I've been fortunate to witness this and hear countless stories of Scottie in the gym. He's not going to be outworked. And so, everything that you're seeing on the golf course, he's putting in that preparation day in and day out. And he certainly does not rest on being number one.
Does he have a certain time that he likes to do his workouts? And does he like early in the morning and then go have breakfast, or does he eat before? And then, different people are different in terms of when they like to work.
Yeah, I think it depends on his schedule.
Okay.
He's obviously very busy, but I think this time of year, my understanding is in the mornings.
Okay.
Has he got Bennett lifting weights yet?
Probably already hitting 300-yard drives at that age. Who knows?
Come on, baby, you're looking kind of flabby. Get to work.
Yeah, I have a feeling his son's going to be pretty good at golf if he's inclined that way.
You know what? You never know. It's just, kids like to do what their parents do. So,
yeah,
but not always. So you just don't know. For people who didn't watch our show last time, John, why don't you give them a quick rundown of what, in a nutshell, what is GolfForever and what does it do and how do they find out about it?
Yeah, it's thank you for asking, Gary. So it's an integrated system that combines the GolfForever swing trainer, which we talked about, which is that equipment that Scottie uses and has used daily to train since early 2022, right before he went on his prolific run of wins. And that is used as the feature piece of equipment in the GolfForever app. And that's the lifeblood of our business and company and mission. And that's what we're all about. And what that is basically customized movement routines, mobility, flexibility, strength that are all done in golf specific ways, built for your golf swing. And so you come in as a new member, whether you've purchased the GolfForever swing trainer equipment or not. You're not required to, but it's definitely the most effective when you do. The first thing that you do as a new member is you take our 5-minute strength and flexibility test. And then that gives you a truly personalized program of daily routines. And so every time that you log into the app and you do a new routine, that starts with something called fundamentals, which is a 10 to 15-minute routine that's all about that flexibility. It's basically a warm-up and really helps your body move and get prepped for athletic movement or the golf course. And then the back half of that is called rotational power, which are 20 to 35-minute routines. So it's about 45 minutes total. And the rotational power is where I guess you could say you make all the gains. And so that's where a lot of that asymmetrical training with the swing trainer occurs, and really you're building that strength and dynamic rotational patterns.
Am I watching a video while I'm doing that, or am I just doing it after I learn how to do it?
Yes, no, great question. Thanks for clarifying. So, yes, everything in the app is streaming videos, and
Okay.
they're step by step. So you're learning from Scottie Scheffler's coach, Dr. Troy Van Biesen, is one of our featured content providers. And you're learning from Dr. Jeremy James, who's a world-renowned chiropractor, who's the founder and CEO of our business, and many other very, very qualified PTs and trainers and golf-specific experts, including Rick Smith, who's obviously taught some world number ones, and Jason Bale, who's a 2025 PGA teacher and coach of the year. And so we have a really all-star cast of instructors and coaches, and you're learning from them, and it's very easy, frankly, for anyone to do. So it doesn't matter if you've ever exercised a day in your life, or if you're Scottie Scheffler at the top end of the ladder there. It truly is built and personalized for everyone.
It's sort of like the program with the bike, where you got to buy the $2,500 bike. You get all the videos. I just drew a blank on the name of that.
Peloton.
Thank you, Peloton. Yeah,
we're a little bit or quite a bit less expensive than that.
Yeah, well, that just gets you on the bike. This you're talking about. I mean, golf is, everybody needs something different. That's why it has to be customized.
That's absolutely the truth, Gary. And I would frame it this way, and as Dr. Jeremy James, our founder, says all the time, we really want to almost rewire people's perception and understanding of this is what I can get out of my body. This is what I can get out of my golf swing. And truly having the average golfer, and especially a lot of us my age, I'm 49, approaching 50. It's a very scary number. But
You'll make it.
I'll make it. Thank you. But
Yeah,
there's
sounds pretty rough. You said bitterly.
So there's you can tell I'm not thinking about it at all, right? But there's a lot of golfers out there that are feeling those aches and pains, and they're kind of seeing this distance and strength loss coming. And the reality is you can reverse that. You can avoid that. That is 100% real. It is something that we see in our membership, our customers every single day. And in fact, we've changed lives, by the foundation of the program. And it's the same core foundation that Scottie Scheffler is doing with his coach that we're teaching every single person to do.
Well, I have watched the videos on the website, and we had some videos of Scottie doing things, and none of it looked like you had to be, Charles Atlas or Arnold Schwarzenegger before he was governor. That you didn't have to be that kind of an athlete to start them or to do them. You've got all kinds of entry levels, correct?
100%. Yeah, it's really geared. Our top of the bell curve, if you will, is about a 53 to 55-year-old person, and so that's the biggest bulk of our membership. And it is again, it's very simple motions and movements. And I've often said this and thought this as a golfer myself. It is amazing as golfers. I've played golf my entire life. Keep trying to get away from the game, and it keeps sucking me back in from a career level. And as a golfer, we will absolutely kill ourselves, kill our bodies to gain a few extra yards, to get in a better impact position, right? To do something in our swing that feels totally unnatural. And a lot of times coaches are trying to work around some of the physical limitations that we have, when in reality, the best way to improve that is remove those physical limitations. And so with GolfForever, the best and the most effective thing about it is very, very simple changes make huge improvements. And we're not talking going and working up a sweat and doing these, crazy workouts like you said a few minutes ago. It's very basic movement routines. And then when you pair that with the way that we train and train in a very golf specific manner, it's a home run, and it just works.
So if Dr. Jeremy James looks at me, I'm considerably older than 55. He's going to look at my evaluation and go, oh, no, next.
There's always exceptions to the rules, but no, not at all. Not at all. No.
Both of my knees are on the verge of being shot. So that is one reason I'm having a distance loss. Also, I'm getting older, but yeah, I fight it, but I would love to have some core movements. I mean, what can I really improve given that my legs are kind of never going to be that good?
Yeah. So first of all, Gary, if you're so kind to have me back on the show, we can do a progress report of you going through the program.
Well, that's a good idea.
After a few weeks, and I would
video
say
from
this.
the funeral. Oh,
it's you're the perfect person for this, because we have a lot of people that come in pain, and that's the whole point of what Jeremy did as a chiropractor and a pain specialist for so many years when he was running the Aspen Club Back Institute. And as you mentioned in that evaluation, that is something that through our automated system and that strength and flexibility test, that can be determined that you would indicate that you have pain, and then you would be put into a track that would help you get out of pain. And that would be the only thing that you would start with. And so it really is going to help you build that foundation. And what you said about your knees and your legs and kind of just your general movement, we would get you to a place where you're starting to function better. And the joints and your spine and your ability to just move in a golf swing centric pattern is starting to improve. And just by improving that mobility in that way, in your range of motion, and building core strength in whatever areas that you need it specifically, I think you would see a lot of benefit to that.
Well, this is the magic of the internet age, where you can do this instruction either through video or just do it remotely. And that's opened the door to businesses like GolfForever to
That's right.
To help people who, I can't go see Dr. Brant Joe for my shoulder, but maybe if he was still practicing, maybe I could get him on a video call. But that's why this GolfForever, I mean, there's other programs for other sports, but it's such a great idea. And you couldn't have done this 15 years ago because the technology wasn't there for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And in that way, the unfortunate timing of COVID really was a boom for businesses like ours, because it helped people be more open to the digital age and the digital programming. And then as we were growing during that time period and launched the swing trainer, we continued on. We got more brand awareness, and just by word of mouth from a lot of golfers, telling their buddies, hey, I'm doing this new thing. And we often get our members joking, I didn't want to tell my buddy this because it's my secret weapon, right?
I'm trying to beat him. I'm not trying to. That's proprietary.
Right. Yeah. No, we've been very fortunate and very excited that we have this opportunity as a business in golf, and both of you have been around golf for a very long time, and that new niches and categories like ours are hard to come by, and it's hard to sustain that.
It is. It's hard to find good people, a good team to put together and have somebody that turns out to be the number one golfer in the world who loves your system. I mean, that's really a bonus for you, but it can be a bonus for anybody else who has their swing or their golf skill level improved by it. And one of the things with golf is if you're hurting, you can't move the way you're supposed to move. If your back aches, you can't make any kind of a good turn. Or if you have not been swinging a club lately, and you can't make any kind of a full swing because you haven't used those muscles in quite a while, so you're stiff. You can't get to where you need to be.
Or maybe you don't have a meniscus in your left knee, things like that. Old
Yeah.
sports injuries, John.
Yeah, I know. And it's difficult. And Kathy, I mean, to that point, when you think of, number one, all the injuries that we see on tour and we hear about, I mean, it is a shame. I mean, those athletes are, the golfers and the athletes, I mean, they're stressing their bodies over and over again, and they're swinging at, I mean, these ungodly speeds now, that continue to creep up, and more acting like long drivers, right? That actually hit fairways. And so there is just naturally an incredibly high level of strain on your body. And so now programs like ours are very important, certainly for that level. And so when you look at the trainers, and like we talked about, Dr. Troy and Scottie, you know, that's a serious business. You got to keep your player healthy. And you know, Scottie's career is at stake, and other players' careers are at stake, right? And so they all, and the players especially, they take it very seriously. You know, I've been, again, fortunate to observe that. On the average golfer level, to your point, it really, again, it doesn't take much in either direction to affect your performance. We're sitting here all behind desks looking into a screen, and we probably do this for a good amount of the day, right? And so I know certainly I do. And if I were to go straight out to the first tee, there's no way. I mean, I'm at least 10, 15 miles an hour, you know, slower in swinging it. And I have to loosen up. And especially as I continue to age, that time that it takes me does continue to kind of increase to really be able to be prepared. And that's the beauty of what we do, is within even a 10-minute warm up, you can bypass the driving range and go and be ready for that first tee.
Yeah, and by doing some of the programs, you will have learned some techniques that you can use on your own when they pull your ball off the rack and you're up. You already know how you've got a couple things you know to do to stretch, to get yourself ready, that you've learned from being in this program all the time.
Yeah, it's a great point, Gary, because a lot of, and it was my own personal education, what our members are learning is how to properly move their bodies, just at a very basic level. This applies to reaching to the top shelf to grab that little dinner plate.
Yes.
Right. And as we do when we're hosting around the holidays, you know, and it's very basic stuff that actually affects life in ways that we're using. And Jeremy speaks to this quite often, using golf as a Trojan horse, if you will. And the real benefit is life, because as you said, Gary, I mean, unfortunately, I'm sorry to hear you've been in pain, but you're not alone in that, right? And it's so common.
Well, I'm not in pain. They don't work. You know, I don't take any pain medication. It's just that my knees are not as stable or as strong, or I can't use them for leverage like I'd like to. You know, I mean, I'd like to make the top 20 in the world rankings and reaching the top shelf. That would be.
There we go.
I'm not sure where I rank right now, but it's probably not in the top 100, I would say.
Small victories, right?
But yeah, you know, you get body, you know, well, we don't need to make it about me, but my orthopedic guy said, yeah, my one knee, I'm getting close to bone on bone. He said, what do you take? I said, I don't take anything. He's like, oh. Well, when the time to get knee replacement is when the pain becomes unbearable. So, needless to say, right after I saw him, my knee started hurting. It's like, well, it's his fault. Maybe it's psychosomatic. Doctors do that.
Yeah. You know, well, maybe we do the opposite, right? It's you know, it's a great program, and psychosomatic is going to help you in a good way.
Here's one for all the seniors, John. What's one small exercise or movement that people over 60 who are golfers, what's one thing they ought to do on a regular basis?
So again, great question.
Heavily, I mean.
Yeah, and I'll always preface, I'm not a medical professional myself, and so, you know, I'm not Dr. Jeremy James or Dr. Troy, but what I have learned and what our program built its foundation on is, number one, it's all very personalized to whatever that person's needs are. So we would never give a blanket exercise to someone who has shoulder pain, for example, and say, all right, take a club and put it over your shoulder, right? That would just be counterintuitive. And so, number one, it's It's Gary. It's just, I guess, understanding, what your current limitations are, and then building strength and mobility around that. And so I'm not speaking to injuries in this regard, but just some of the basic foundational, we call them forward tees routines. We have forward tees, middle tees, and back tees. And the forward tees are your very basic movements. It would be something like, and I will use the kind of the club, or we put the swing trainer over the shoulder movement, and you're just creating some mobility in your shoulders, or some rotational movements where you're creating upper body and lower body separation. And so if I'm sitting in my chair, I could just cross my hands over here and just make small movements here where, because I'm seated, my hips are not moving, right? But my upper body, I'm getting some thoracic mobility here in my chest. And so, again, you can draw the correlation there to the golf swing, but just something as basic as that. And I actually remember our first conversation, because I had us go like this, right? And we kind of put our hands behind our neck. I remember that. And just getting where I'm actually now sitting up. And it's a great reminder as I'm talking to you to do this myself. I've been sitting here and we're having a good conversation. I'm getting hunched and slunched and slouched down. And so now just making sure that we're sitting up and getting good posture, right? And good straight neutral spine, and just things like that. You would be amazed how even just sitting the right way for a few minutes, you'll stand up and feel 2 inches taller, and you'll feel better.
I think a lot of people comment about how good my posture is. I don't know if you know that.
Actually, his posture is very, very good. I've seen him in the media center, and I don't know if it's just the way his back is built, or if he practiced, or if it has
probably
to do
the horrible media center chairs they give us.
Yeah, well, he always has a very straight posture, and I don't. I have terrible posture, but his is very good.
It's hard for anybody to have great posture in this age where you have a couch in the living room and a TV, and the couch really just forces you. I have one particular, the cushions are kind of too wide, so you're kind of forced to slouch because
auto lounge.
You need a narrower sitting area, and then you can sit up against the backboard. But I think we're digressing here. So is there any chance Scottie Scheffler's going to be any good next year, John? I mean, what do you think?
So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, I think it is amazing. Again, I've mentioned this a few times. I've been fortunate to observe him, but be around him a little bit over the last few years. And he truly is an incredible human being. His drive for competition is I would say second to none, but I mean, he rivals a Tiger or a Jacker. Obviously there's a lot of great competitors out there over the years, but his talent and the tools that he is using within his preparation, like GolfForever, but his regimented schedule and the way that he approaches even the off season continues to tell me he'll be around for as long as he wants to do this.
Did you see Happy Gilmore too? And is it true that Scottie might be up for a Best Supporting Actor nomination?
He was kind of the surprise underdog hit of that, right? It was great.
He was.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
People can find, if the people want to find out more about GolfForever, I assume it's golfforever.com, the website.
GolfForever.com. Absolutely. Yes. Of course, we have an app that you can find in the App Store, but GolfForever.com. Please come visit us anytime, and you'll see what we offer with the training systems and the swing trainer in combination with the app, like we talked about.
All right. Well, thanks, John, for filling us in again. More Scottie, more good tips on where you should go if you want to hit it farther and be a better player is golfforever.com. And I said I was going to check it out last time, and I forgot about it. This time I promise I will check it up. I might be enrolling soon. So thanks, John. It's great having you, and hope we can talk again.
Thank you both. And I'm going to hold you to that, Gary.